Allies are great, they are helpful, they are so needed, but today's focus is on the victims. Hi guys, welcome to Blooming with BC. I'm BC, a mental health counselor in the state of Florida, and today we will be talking about 5 things that you don't have to do when something racially traumatic occurs. Now, I do want to add a small caveat that this video is intended for people who see themselves represented in the victim of a racially traumatic event. Allies are great, they are helpful, they are so needed, but today's focus is on the victims. More and more racially motivated events have been happening lately. Your question may be, what does racially traumatic mean? Is it something I made up? Is that a real term? That's an okay question to ask. If you saw my last video, Let's Talk About Trauma, then you would know that trauma is something that is deeply distressing. But when you tack on the racial aspect of this trauma, it means that the victim's race or the perpetrator's race factored into the scenario. This can mean something very specific, as in a judgment call was made because of someone's skin color, or it could be something that has been continually a pattern for a specific race, and this is another incident to add to a list. I think it's important that people who see themselves represented in the victim are voices that we are elevating during this time. On the other hand, there can be a sense of pressure that can come, and not everyone is meant to speak up or share how they're feeling. So today I would like to take some pressure off of that and give you a list of things that you don't have to do unless you feel called to. Number 1, you do not have to watch the video. Some people may feel that they need to watch the video. They need to see exactly what happened to the victim. But if that is not you, you don't have to feel as though you're obligated to watch the video. Especially when you see yourself in that person, you can get a pretty good sense of what it might be like. Number 2, you don't have to post about it. If you'd like to post about it and bring awareness and start a conversation, you're welcome to. But there is no obligation for you to post about it. Number 3, you don't have to engage with certain people. You know, those people who are just saying, oh, well, I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Or, oh, well, if you look at the big picture, or if you look at of what really happened. Those are not conversations you need to engage with. If you want to, by all means, go ahead. But if you know that that is going to be painful for you, if that is going to do more harm than good for yourself, don't do it. You don't have to do it. Number 4, you don't have to educate others. It's okay if that's not what you're called to do. It's okay if you're not the person who wants to go and make sure everyone understands what's happening. That can be exhausting. People have different roles for different situations. And if you are actively grieving and mourning a situation, it is unfair to expect you to have to go around educating other people. And number 5, you don't have to be the token representative. Maybe you're the only person of color in your workspace and people are looking to you to gauge their reactions. You don't have to be that person for this. It's a really heavy burden to carry, and sometimes you're just there to work. You don't want to have to do this massive undertaking of racial justice right in the moment. And this isn't to say that racial justice and these conversations aren't needed. They are so needed. But you don't have an obligation to be the spearhead of this when you are hurting and grieving and mourning. It is okay to pause and remove yourself. It is okay to let other people be at the center and be at the forefront, and you take a break and you jump back in if and when you are ready. You don't have to be pressured into anything. When you're ready, you are free to do any of the things I just listed, but don't rush the process. If you decide to do it because you want to, and not because you feel a sense of pressure from other people or society. Moments like this create secondary trauma. It may not have been your son or your daughter or your relative or you yourself in that incident, but you see yourself represented there, and that creates its own sense of trauma. And unfortunately, we don't always get the luxury of grieving one event before another one occurs. You don't have to deepen your wounds by jumping into something you're not ready for. For those of you that see what's happening but don't belong to the involved communities, keep listening and keep learning. If someone has a platform already created for having these conversations, go to them. I talk about it, Carlos Whitaker talks about it, Emmanuel Acho, Jamar Tisby, Bernice King, Latasha Morrison, just to name a few. Those are all people who are doing the work of having this conversation. Do not go hounding your friends who have not indicated that they want to talk about this. If you have a close enough relationship with them where you're willing to check in on them and see how they're doing, by all means do so. But don't go looking at them for education and knowledge unless they have already indicated that that is something they are willing to do. We live in a society where racism is so systemically integrated, it's hard to run from it. We can learn from it, we can heal from it, and we can change it. If you're ready to start learning but aren't sure where to start, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow along with me on social media. I have created this space for conversation like these. If you have a question, drop it in the comments, send me a DM. Let's start talking about this. We can't heal from what we're not willing to talk about or look at, but this is how we start the work. I'd love to play a role in your learning and healing. If there's any way I can help you, please let me know. I'll see you soon.